And it doesn't shock anybody anymore. That should wake people up.
Nearly 2 weeks after a crisis in a local classroom, we're hearing from a local police chief who says the problem may be even bigger than what's being reported. And we're talking about reports of students bringing guns to school. We have identified several cases across central Alabama over the last year and a half, cases ABC 3340 has pressed education leaders for answers on. That's where we find ABC 3340's Gracie Johnson. She's joining us now with this follow-up, talking with law enforcement officials about what they're seeing. Gracie?
Shanti, earlier this month, we reported on 8 cases over about a year and a half where students brought guns onto school campuses. We also pushed for answers, asking school leaders how often this is happening and what's being done following the incidents. Today, I spoke with Calera Police Chief David Heitch, who says the issue may go beyond what we're seeing.
We need to do something and take a long, hard look about at our school security, and specifically about kids with guns.
In April 2026, ABC 3340 identified 8 incidents across central Alabama involving students bringing guns onto school campuses. We also asked education leaders for numbers and discipline information, but we're told that data would take time to compile, wouldn't reflect the current school year, and that discipline is handled locally with details often limited because students are minors. Calera Police Chief David Heitch, speaking as a law enforcement expert, says based on his experience, the 8 incidents we've been made aware of are not the final number.
I would guess that that's vastly underreported.
Heitch says that belief comes from his time as a federal agent.
When I was a Fed, there's a program that was started in Montgomery, and it was a reward for tips. When kids gave a tip about a gun in a school in Montgomery and Selma and several cities in the Middle District, they would get an anonymous, it would be totally anonymous, and they would get a $500 reward.
He says that program was never adopted in the central area.
And around 2017, maybe 2016, when I was still a Fed, I brought that to Jefferson County and to Birmingham through Crime Stoppers, and this area, the metro area here, did not want to participate in the program.
Heitch says Crime Stoppers in the Middle District is getting about 10 to 12 guns a year out of schools through these tips. He also says younger and younger kids are getting access to firearms, often by stealing them.
Parents, don't assume that because when you were young, you didn't go in that gun cabinet because you'd get your butt whipped. That's not the world we live in anymore. You got a gun at home, kids are going to find it, they have other kids come over. Yeah, it's not worth taking the chance on. Secure your guns.
Heitch says school safety requires constant change.
You can't do the same old thing you used to do. Having your SRO leaning back in a chair by the door all day is not the way it works anymore.
And while schools have increased security, he says no system can guarantee safety.
And if you ever have a law enforcement leader that tells you because of this program my schools are safe, they're either incompetent or lying.
For Heitch, he says the first step is acknowledging the scope of the issue.
We certainly don't need to pretend like there's not a problem. That's what infuriates me, when I know for a fact that guns are being recovered at schools and it's not making it to the media, or people can't count the numbers. I find that hard to believe.
Now, one of the cases we reported was at a Calera school in January 2025. Heitch says while some discipline is handled by the school system on their end, they made sure that student was fully prosecuted. Ashanti.